everyone. Welcome back to Open Mic. I'm your host, Ramsey Chiri, and my co host, Tanis Coughlin.
Hi, everyone.
Hope all is doing well. Um, First, just a quick I'm a psychic medium. You can find me at ramseychiri.net. And Tanis has a couple of pages of. Go ahead. You can.
I do stuff.
She does stuff, a lot of it.
I'm an intuitive energy healer, Celtic shamanic high priestess, crystal master, and a channel, an oracle. So, yeah,
Awesome.
it's what I do. I do stuff.
Actually, she reduced it by half an hour because she can go on for half an hour about it.
Which I don't do. But
Hope everyone is doing well. Haven't seen you all in like 2 weeks. What is this? 3 weeks?
I think it
No,
might be 3 weeks. I think we,
3 weeks.
yeah.
I have been delinquent. It is my fault. My work.
I wouldn't exactly say delinquent. I think you've been a little busy.
I've been a little busy. My work just
Yeah.
exploded, but that's okay. All is
Mhm.
good.
All is
So I'm
good.
here today, and let us enjoy the show. I got hot all of a sudden. I was cold a
Oh,
bit.
well, that would mean your guides are coming in, right?
I have no idea. It's just I'm tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So he's got some jet lag, folks. So,
I am jet lagged. Yes, coming back from Asia is not easy,
mm,
but I'm here. So guys, what are we doing around the world in 24 hours? I had no idea what I was writing when I put the title up, but I thought we'll talk about past and future events happening
mhm.
because I left Asia at 5 a.m. in the morning. I arrived in Montreal at 7 p.m. in the afternoon, which is in reality is around 14 hours. But the truth is, I spent 26 hours in total. So how's that possible?
That sounds exhausting. That's what that does.
It is exhausting. So where did the time fly?
I
How
do
did
not
that all
know.
happen?
You tell me. You're the one that's the jet setter.
uh,
I'm going to put these on so I can see. Oh,
can you see
look at
me
that.
better? Okay.
Yes.
So, so what happened is this. Are we on? Yes. What happened is this. What happened is that there's something called time difference, and with the time difference is what brought me from there to here in a shorter period of time. But anyways, time is just a concept, and we don't follow anyways, right?
Is
So
that
we
why I'm
just
late all the time? I have a hard time with time these days. There's like this little glitch in the matrix for me. I will I I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but you'll think it's one time, and the next time you look at the clock, it's like an hour later and it feels like 5 minutes, and you haven't really gotten very far, even though you were supposed to have gotten much farther. And it's not even about work; it could be anything, and you just kind of lose these bits of time because we're spending more and more time in the other dimensions, and at least that's what my guides are telling me. And so when we're so because there is no time and space, so we kind of jump from this now moment to that now moment to that now moment to that now moment. So apparently I went to that now moment, then came back and went to that now moment, and then went to where I was supposed to be. So yeah.
which is exactly what we were trying to what I think that's what I was trying to aim at to talk about today,
Yeah.
but it just came out, which is good. um so that brings us to two events,
Mhm.
right? Being here and being there.
Okay.
uh
So
is it
here and there
possible?
is different for everybody.
Yes, it depends on your point of view.
Yes.
It's like people in the South Shore looking at the North Shore and saying, ah, that's the North Shore. But the people in North Shore, they're saying, no, that's the South Shore. How do we look at it? North, and then you're, I don't know. I better stop. Today is one of those days that I'm
The North
not.
Shore people that think south is one way, and South Shore people think north is one way, and
Yeah,
it's because they're on the opposite ends of it. But
yeah. It
they're
depends on when you where you're sitting.
yeah. So
Uh,
perspective is what we're saying.
yes, it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
Uh, and not to mention, I have allergies coming out of my head. It's crazy.
Well, let's talk about the energies this week
Yes,
because
let's
they've
talk
been
about
intense.
energies.
Because I think that that's where some of your allergies are coming from, right? So for me, I've had migraines all week, which I don't have them super frequently, but this week was particularly bad. Um, I was in bed a lot compared to my usual. Um, and a lot of people have been having a lot of aches and pains this week. And we've had a lot of like light coming in to the earth. We've had the solar storms haven't been as frequent, but we did have like 2 M class today. So, that creates a lot of physical symptoms, and we are in the ascension process. And so, a lot of these things that we might be feeling, if they're unusual, check out the list of ascension symptoms that you can find online because there are all sorts of things. They're like anytime we're like clearing stuff, it can create anything like our bodily functions. So, like allergies, for instance, right? We might have a slight cough. We might have the runny nose. We might have teariness. We could have body aches and pains because things are getting stuck somewhere. So, drinking lots of water, getting exercise, doing lymph movement, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It all helps us, right, to run it through. And it's really about clearing the energy. So the more we can focus on allowing things to move, the easier it becomes. But it doesn't mean we're immune to it because we're moving our energy, right? We're all in this together, and I think that there's been this bit of an upscaling as well. So those of us that are sensitive are now picking up more again on other people, and that is creating some stuff along with our own deeper clearing, because they're really what they're coming through with is that they're clearing a lot of like ancestral stuff at this time, as well as our past lives, and preparing us to move forward. So it's all happening for us. But yeah.
But it happened
But
this
yeah.
week. Like for me, the allergy started 3 weeks ago out of the blue. I don't have allergies,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, it's there. And the bad part is that on the flight, the last 2 hours, it's a single sneeze.
Oh no.
It's non-stop for 2 hours until I land, and then by the end of the night or whatever it is, it goes away, and then it starts sporadic coming out during the day. It happened when I landed in India. It happened when I landed in Taiwan. It happened when I landed in Tokyo. It happened when I landed in Montreal. I was finished nonstop. So I went yesterday. I got what do you call it? Those antihistamine pills or something for it to stop right now. Stuff like that. But yes, there's a lot of clearing that is happening.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought. I didn't know anything about what we didn't get a chance to talk because I was you know jumping around the globe. So
Yes. So this is the last while. So I'm
yeah,
not surprised that it's before this week. This week was intense for me, and I think that we're all kind of having our shifts in intensity, depending on where you're at and what the light, what area of the world the light's coming down on, and all of that stuff. Um, but I think that most of us are having some kind of ascension symptoms here and there, and yeah, it's one of those times, guys. But it's summer for us in Canada. I realize there's others of you that are perhaps in the southern half of the world that maybe you're going into
cold
winter.
weather.
Yeah,
Sorry.
which I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I'm looking outside. It doesn't look like summer. It's cloudy and it's raining, and it's like, what happened?
Well, and we've got haze here again today.
Oh yeah.
We've got our weather quality is a little bit
Oh yeah.
not so good. Not as high as it was there with the fires, but it's a little higher today than it was the last few days. So
Yeah, I noticed yesterday when we were coming down, there was a darker air over the city.
hmm
So it must have been from the fires.
yeah, yeah. Were you away when we had the really bad stuff?
Yes. Yeah, I
Okay.
wasn't here. I wasn't
Yeah,
here.
because that was pretty intense. That was like I would be sitting here and my eyes were watering, even though I was in the house.
Oh
That was
no.
intense. Today I haven't noticed as much. I've coughed maybe a few more times, but nothing major.
Yeah, that's when the wave of smoke hit Montreal, Toronto, and New York.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't here.
You were out jet setting.
Somewhere, somewhere, but that somewhere, you know, we talk about cause and effect. You need to have something in order to get somewhere else, but we really there's no cause and effect in total. It's just about a dance that is happening. You can't be there without being here, and you can't be here without being there. So one doesn't exist without the other.
hmm
So the future of an event is not dependent on the past, but it is the past and the future are interdependent on each other in a kind of a joint act. So in your future, you can change your past, and in
hmm
your past, you can change your future, and they're all working together at the same time.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I do with multidimensional healing. Actually,
hmm,
is jump back into past time frame. Like for myself, there was an incident where I had a being, and I needed to clear that because it was affecting me now. So I went back and saw myself clearing it as a kid and got rid of it. And it helped what I do now, you know? So it's like quantum healing. We do that. We jump back in time and forward. If I knew it was coming in forward, I would come, you know. I know I'm an oracle, but we don't know our own stuff. Sorry. That's not how it
but
works.
if somebody watched that movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once or something it's called, Michelle Yeoh, she got an Oscar
Oh,
for it.
I haven't seen that, but it sounds interesting.
Oh,
Quantum physics.
everything happens all at once. She's in a
hmm
situation, then she goes into somewhere else, learn that uh, either how to fight or how to do taxes, whatever it is. I can't remember it well because it's been a while. Then she comes back into that point in time and tackle that issue. And she's always projecting in and out, getting information and not only information, but what do you call them? She's gaining knowledge and stuff and using it for the present moment. So it's always in and out, coming into the present. You have to watch that. That
Yeah,
movie was phenomenal.
it sounds fascinating.
But I don't know if I if I said the name correctly, but I believe it's uh, what is it? Everything everywhere all at once. Yeah, this is it.
Cool. Oh yeah, that's mirrored, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good movie. It gives you an idea of how things happen. Although it's a Hollywood movie and it's exaggerated a bit, but reality is almost like that. It's interdependent of what you do, or what you've done, or or where you take yourself to learn something in order to come and bring it forward to your present moment. So even when we clear, like you said, we go into the past, we clear the past, then we come back, but the past is actually the present that we're clearing.
Hmm.
So is it going back and forth, or is it being here and doing it for the back and forth? And it actually moves and changes your future direction, your
Yeah,
past, your future, and your past, your present, and the future. They're all a single point in time being worked at the same time,
it's true.
basically.
Complicated, but true. That's why, when we do prediction work,
Mhm.
we always qualify it, right? Because,
Yes.
you're going down this path, and I can tell you what the most probable outcome is here, but if you go and change that, then this probable outcome can change very quickly,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. Sorry.
If we were in the same room, I'd be poking him right now, going, wake up. Oh, I got to go this way. So,
Yes.
quantum physics. What do you know about quantum physics? I don't know anything about quantum physics, but except what we just talked about, the mind,
I'm sure.
or space travel, time
I'm
travel.
sure it's all the same of what we just talked about, but I don't know the specifics of it, so I can't talk about it because then, then I'll mess it up. But if we go back to the Buddha, he says, "This arises, that becomes,"
I like that.
which brings you back and forth in time at a single point in time, and you could do things like that.
Hmm.
And you
True.
can't say that this is happening in the future or this is happening in the past. You don't get you like you don't go to the supermarket because you need to buy something. You you want to buy something, then you get into your car. You're in the supermarket, but you get back yourself into the car. It is so complicated that I can't really put it in words.
That's why I have trouble with it. Give me dimensions. I'm good with that. You talk about time and space differential. I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, don't know. Not a, I was never a science kind
No.
of physicsy kind of girl. So yeah, so not my forte.
So what I wanted to also talk about, if is the law of nature, because now there's a lot of upheaval over what is natural, what is not.
Okay,
Uh,
you want to go
yeah.
down that route, do you?
Oh, I want to go down that route because it is disturbing. I'm sorry for whoever doesn't like that. Please skip the show tonight. Uh, the law of nature. What is nature? Okay, and what is a law? So the law of nature is when we sit and observe nature in comparison to something that is solid, like a time, a clock, which is a man invention. You
Hmm.
know, the Earth turns around the sun. Okay, for those who don't believe for those who believe in flat Earth, that's okay. There's something else that turns, and you have a clock. Okay, so there's a time attached to it. It's like we say the sun will rise at 6 a.m. in the morning. The sun doesn't care about your silly clock. It's gonna come up at around the same time because that's what the sun does without having to look for something to measure itself with. And rulers and clocks are human inventions. And we decided that it is like that. It's a straight line. But nature is never a straight line.
Mm-mm.
Nature is it's wavy. It goes in intervals. Yes, exactly. That's
Yep.
exactly what it is. It's up and down. It's never a straight line. If it's up and down, what is right? Is it the peak or the valley? But you
Well, if
can't
it's
have the
natural,
peak.
it's all of it. If it's
Yeah,
natural, it's
exactly. You
all of
can't
it.
have the peak without the valley.
The balance, right? Just
Exactly.
like, how can we be all happy if we don't have the fear or the sadness, right? We have to
Yeah.
have both.
So what we did, we created a god and said, God says, this is the ruler. Follow the ruler. But if we follow the ruler, we have a boring, bloody earth,
Oh,
right?
this conversation's going there, is
It's going
it?
everywhere.
And where
So,
would you like to go then instead of the boring ruler?
but the beauty of life, it's colors,
Yes.
not its black and white. Not the ruler that we created, and we created the garb based on our image, rather than being us on his image, or her, or it. But then again, it,
Or
he,
source.
she is is an object. Then we're objectifying a creator rather than the whole thing is a god. It's not a creator, it is the creation. It's all in one. So if we move away from that he, she, it, then we're all part of the same creation. It flows.
Hmm.
So the peak and the valley, they're just as important to each other.
Yep.
The movement of the light, for example, it's not a straight line, and the light is not white.
It's the
Okay, now we're going.
absence, right?
Pardon?
White is the absence of color, is it not? Or is it the
It's the
opposite?
it's the all the colors combined together becomes white.
Right.
So when it goes
Black is
into a
the
prism,
absence of color.
yeah. So when it goes into a prism, it splits into a rainbow. And a rainbow is not controlled by God or the LGBTQ plus. It's just a bloody rainbow. And whoever wants to use a rainbow, to hell with them. They can use it the way they want to. It's not. So we create, what do you call it? We give things meaning that they don't exist,
Yeah.
and then we
We
start to
give
find
we
again.
use things as symbols, right?
Yes, but then we draw a morality line
Yeah.
with these symbols, and we say, okay, this is moral, this is immoral. But who put that line in there? We did. We can move and shift that line as much as we want.
Hmm.
And then if we take the line altogether, what would happen? Well,
Well,
fucking love each other. There's nothing there to do. Yeah,
there's,
did I say
there's
that
no
out
right
loud?
or wrong, so it's all good.
Bleep, bleep,
It's
bleep.
all right. So I always look at that like if you're in integrity.
Yeah.
Okay, people talk about integrity being like ethical behavior, sort of thing, right? If you're acting in ethical behavior, but for me, integrity means something a little bit different. For me, acting in integrity is acting and doing what is right for me, right? What feels good to me. That's being in my integrity. Being in integrity as a society, that's a little bit of a different concept. But if I'm in my integrity, then my integrity is what is right for me and how do I distinguish what's right for me in the moment.
Mhm.
And I think that has a lot to do with your human design. It has a lot to do with your astrology. It has a lot to do with your gut, your intuition, what your body's doing at the moment when you're doing it. There's a lot of factors in there. And when it's your own integrity in terms of is it right for me, that could change by the day.
Of course.
Today it could be right for me to eat the chocolate. Maybe tomorrow it's not so good for me to eat the chocolate.
Mhm.
And that could just be my body and what it's saying to me. And I mean, I'm using a banal example, but
Hi,
hello,
Facebook
hello.
user. Could you please put your name because we can't see who you are?
They're probably in they're probably in your group.
Possible.
Mhm. I will check, but I don't see them here. Yeah, so I think there's a lot to be played around with that in terms of your own integrity.
Oh,
Oh, hi,
Shem.
Shem.
We got overly excited. Shem, thank you for joining us.
We're we're talking about personal integrity versus like society integrity and a bunch of other things, but that's what we're at the moment.
Because I see a lot of silly stuff on social media to a point where it is like I wanna throw up and just cancel social media in general. Uh, People became polarized over issues that are non-existent and
And have nothing to do with them.
demonizing people because of their whatever it is. I can't judge what it is. And at the end of the day, we're all gonna get buried in the same bloody box.
Well,
Well, box next door.
the
But
meat suit will be.
but the thing is, you only have okay. If you're lucky, you can get to 80. 80 years. 80 years is just a blink of an eye. You can use them to destroy other people while you're here, or you can use them to lift yourself and others on your way out of here.
Mhm.
Like Randas said, he said, we're all walking each other home at the end of the day. So why can't we do that? Instead of just being a hardliner attached to an ideology that doesn't exist
Mhm.
and die.
Well, and we all think that everybody else should believe the same thing as us, or everybody else should have the same ideals. But we don't because we have our own personal integrity. What we think is right or
Absolutely.
wrong. But the thing that people are doing is projecting their integrities on everybody else, thinking that if that's my integrity, it needs to be your integrity. But it's not.
And
It's
it
not.
shouldn't
It's
be.
my truth. It doesn't mean it's your truth. And so, being
Acceptance.
forgiving and accepting
Yeah,
people for where they're at, it's
absolutely.
key. Key. Yeah.
I was reading an article in a paper in China. That was many years ago when the revolution started and General Mao and everybody went all haywire against over his philosophy and stuff. Over 3 million people, or maybe 30 million. I don't know how many died during his reign at the beginning. Anyways, so they were following an ideology and they would kill each other for that ideology. And that article that I was reading is that this lady would go down the street and basically look at her neighbors and to make sure that they're all following certain rules and whatever. One day, one of her neighbors were not following, and she picked a stick and she smacked her on her head. The lady fell on the floor and started to bleed. And that's when the aggressor, the lady who hit her, just froze. She goes, what the hell did I just do? Like she woke up from a dream. She woke up from a nightmare, actually. She
Mm-hmm.
fled the
It would
city
be.
and
Yeah.
lived the rest of her life in the village away from all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one in millions that she was able to see beyond what is happening and come back to her own roots, which are her true self, her true essence. And then I feel we're going back in time and not learning from history. You know, it's like the what are they called? The Khmer Rouge from Cambodia. Anyways, when the revolution started in Cambodia again, they started to kill intellectual people because they are the ruling party. They're the one with the wealth, and everybody else was poor. But they started killing people that wear glasses. I better take off my glasses. Why? Because
Me
if
too.
you wore glasses, it means you were able to read. And if you're reading, you're on the with the upper class, so you should die with them.
And
But
we are doing the same thing now.
exactly the same.
Mhm.
And we can't see it. We can't get the love out. And that is something that we should be working all together to overcome that.
Mhm. Well,
Not
that's
for
why you and
one.
I do what we do, right?
Yes.
And all of the healers around the world. That's why we do what we do. And all the spiritual leaders. We're here to remind everyone, right, what their essence is, which is that divine light and love that's inside of us. That's your essence. That's what we
Feel
need to
it.
tap into.
Feel it. People feel it. Sorry, I'm way too passionate on a on a day that I'm jet lagged and all over the place. But do feel it. Do take the time to center yourself. Okay, center. What is centering? It's just take a deep breath and feel your breathing goes down into your belly button, expand, and then exhale. That's the centering. There's nothing to it. You don't need to get a ruler or a pendulum to get your center properly. It's just relax and sit in your chair and feel your breath. Listen to your breathing. If you're lucky, you can hear your heartbeat. That will be awesome. Just keep doing that and listen to nothing and say nothing and no commentary from the upper what do you call it, level of the house. Just let it be quiet and just do that.
Yeah.
And here's a tip: if it talks a lot, put your tip of your tongue on your palate while you're breathing.
Mhm.
That breaks the talking on top, the commentary.
Yeah, because the actual mechanics of that is that it creates the microcosmic orbit within the body, right? So when we have a
Yeah.
microcosmic orbit going, we're bypassing the brain. So instead of the energy going up to the brain to come down, we're going straight through and down to the pubis area and up, and it kind of comes forward. Forward? Yes, forward. Come down the front and up the back, right? And that's the microcosmic orbit. So if we can get that moving, then we bypass it going
Yeah.
up to the brain.
And when you bypass that, you're in peace.
Mhm.
And when you're in peace, you allow your true self to expand. And the more expansion you are able to reach, the more loving and compassionate you become.
Mhm.
Because you realize half of the stuff that you see and you hear, it's just stuff that has no meaning whatsoever.
Yeah.
And you just we're being played.
There's a lot of shoulds going on,
Yes.
and we're shooting each other to death, right? It's
Yes.
everybody's expectation of everybody else that everybody should be the same as them when absolutely every one of us is unique in our own way. If we judged everybody for being different, then really we'd be judging absolutely everybody around us because we are the only one that is like us. We are unique in who we are, in our energy, and what we look like. I don't care if you're twins, you're still unique, right? Because you have your own personalities, you have your own likes and dislikes, you have your own everything. We are purely unique individuals, absolutely every one of us. So when we're judging people for this difference or that difference or this difference, it we all have differences.
Of course. And that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. So I was in where was it? Oh, I was in Bangkok going out. So if you go in the US, the first people that they call in are the veterans. And they thank them for their service, blah, 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 whatever. The first people that go onto the plane in Bangkok are the orange robed monks. And I go, which one is right? And they're both right.
Mhm.
And they're both right in accordance to their society. They're
Right.
both right. So I can't judge the Thai people for letting the monks in first, and I can't judge the Americans for letting the veterans first, or men in uniform. I don't know what they call them, but they're both right.
They're both right because they're both people of service too,
That's true.
right? Different kinds of service, but they're people of service that do service to each other.
And all that to say is that just respect each other because they're both right and they're both wrong. If you want to call it like that, they're both wrong.
Yeah.
Why he paid the same amount of money for his ticket as I did? Why can't I go in first?
Well, they have to sort us somehow.
Yes, but then where was I? Somewhere else. I can't remember. But uh, the way we enter the planes, embark on the plane over here in North America is by zone number. And zone number depends on your status as a member to the airline. Somewhere, I can't remember where. They start from the back of the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Rows 40 to 50. They ship everybody to sit in the back. And then they start bringing it forward, forward, forward. And of course, the business class can go in at the beginning, but everybody else go by row number.
Yeah.
So I was the last person to board.
Were you upset
And
about that?
huh?
Were you upset about that?
No, at the beginning I go, but that doesn't make sense. But look at it. It makes absolute sense. Getting on the flight was the easiest ever, and getting out is the easiest ever.
Yep.
So, and again, just to show differences between different culture and how they use certain things or how they define what is right for them. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You go in I think it's the Philippines. A boy before reaches maturity at 16 has the right to change their sex. And that is a common thing. And it's been accepted for eons. It didn't happen yesterday. So
Mm-hmm.
is that wrong? It's right for them,
Mm-hmm. Has to be right for the individual.
and we should respect that. That's all I'm saying. We should respect all of us,
Mm-hmm.
whoever we are. That's my whatever half an hour ranting.
Yeah,
People be
because we are all
present to
right
what
and we
you
are
do.
all wrong. We're all right and we're all wrong, right?
Yeah, but just be present to what you say and what you do. That's all. Be present. It's like I see things on social media. Oh, look, he's gonna hit him, he hit him, and he's holding the camera. Dude, just run over there, yell at the guy to just to make him see where he's heading, you know? Maybe he didn't see the other car coming.
Yeah.
But you're sitting commentating and waiting for them to hit each other. Why? Why? So that you can get more likes?
Well, we have to be kind and humane.
Yes, we lost that. We lost that. We lost that with the number of clicks. We lost that with the number of swipes. We lost that with the likes, and all of that is like, really, what happened to us? Where
Mm-hmm.
are we? Sad. It is sad. There's a change happening, and I'm positive that the change that is happening is required for something better to come up. You know, we had to go through two world wars for us to realize our humanity and put ourselves back together. But unfortunately, we're repeating ourselves. We're repeating history again, but in a different way.
Yeah. It's like small little wars about
Yes.
all of these social issues instead of a big armed war,
Yeah.
right?
And it's just I don't know. It's just I feel like an alien.
I think we are. That's another topic that I didn't mention that in my beginning, by the way, but I'm a galactic ambassador.
Yes. Oh, that's true. You forgot that. You didn't
I
forget
did.
it. You just didn't mention it.
Well, it's not always necessary. But since you brought up the alien thing, it felt necessary. Yeah, there was a big thing this week, speaking of aliens, a big press report
Oh yeah.
from Stephen Greer.
Well,
He is a bigwig in Disclosure, the Disclosure Project.
yeah.
And yeah, big press release. 8 terabytes of proof of alien stuff from all sorts of whistleblowers in the States. And yeah. So take a look at it, June 12th. Stephen Greer on his YouTube. Fascinating. Fascinating. It gave me hope, to be honest, from what you were talking about, for all that stuff. Mm-hmm.
I know we should center ourselves. It's all a dance between the future, the present, and the past.
It is.
It's not cause and effect. And we should not play the game, but be present when we're dancing. Otherwise, we'll start stepping on other people's toes
Mm-hmm. Which
and
is what's
hurting,
happening right now.
yeah, and hurting each other in a way that you make people's life miserable. And that I find it painful to watch. That's all. That's coming. That's actually it came from the heart. It's not.
It did.
I don't. I don't gain anything out of it. Uh, Not planning on changing sex or anything, but it's sad to see things like that happening to a point where we're becoming vigilantes across the globe, which is
Yeah.
super bad, and that brings out anarchy and fear, hatred, all kinds of negative emotions that it took us years to overcome. And here we are again. Because the generation that is being used to do these things did not feel the pain of the past.
Well, and we talk about our emotions being heavy or light, or high vibration and low vibration, or light and dark. Um, the only way to fight dark is by bringing in the light. Dark room, the only way to change it, bring light in.
Yes.
And when we're judging each other and we're being downright mean and rude to each other, that is dark. So you're trying to fight dark with more dark. You're not going to get light that way.
No.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
It
And
never does.
that was one thing I remember my teacher in like grade 2 or something used to say that, and it stuck with me. Two wrongs don't make it right.
Absolutely.
So the more we can put love into the dark, that's how we fight the dark, guys. Be loving, accepting, and that's how we fight the dark.
This episode is just about waking up to your true self. And that we're not here to make the world a better place. We're here to make each ourselves a better person than we were 5 minutes before. That's all.
And in turn, that makes the world a better place.
Exactly. But we end up looking at a bigger picture. How am I going to save the world? You can't.
No.
You can't, because by going out to save the world, you're bringing the same energy that is in the world into this world, and it creates a bigger problem than there is. If you work on yourself and you express yourself outward, which is yourself is about love only. There's nothing else in there. Then your warmth and your love would radiate across and help others to break that cocoon, allow themselves to awaken and sprout out of that. And once you're out, things around you will start to change. Your own environment changes. Who cares about what happened across the globe? But slowly, that has a ripple effect. One person changes two changes four, and so on and so forth. It's a multiplier.
Yeah, the butterfly effect.
Yes.
Wayne Dyer said that one high vibration person can affect the vibration of 25,000 people just by being high vibration. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hi, Annie.
Hello.
That's Annie.
Dance with the flow, yes, and grace.
Yes, I think that's Shem.
That's Shem. Yes, absolutely. Dance with the flow. You can never fight darkness with darkness, like you were saying.
Mhm.
You need to shine the light, and the only way you can do that is to break your shell. That's all. Be who you truly are, that loving person that you are.
Because that's who we are inside. There is that divine essence within all of us. I don't care who you are. You have a divine essence, and divinity is about love. So you have that love inside. All you have to do is let it show.
Yeah, stop using your brain. It's a useless tool. Whatever it's telling you, don't listen to your
You're going to get in
self-doubt.
trouble with like the universities and stuff.
Seriously, this is an amazing piece of equipment that we carry if we allow it to do some day-to-day activity.
Yeah.
Calculates the radius of the earth. I don't care, whatever it is. Come up with something. It's a phenomenal tool. It can do things that you can't even imagine. But at the same time, you add a bit of stupid emotions to it, it becomes a destructive tool. And when it starts talking, it is not true. If you're getting if you're feeling anxious or your muscles are spasming while you're thinking, just stop it.
Change your thoughts.
Change your thoughts.
Yeah.
Go drink a glass of cold water. Put ice in it. I don't know. Take a walk, jump, do something.
Ground.
Ground.
Meditate. Mhm.
And then slowly, slowly with time, because nothing happens over time. We all look at things and they go, "Oh, I was an alcoholic today. I'm sober," but it didn't happen overnight. You can't just stop. It's a process, and you need to do with it. Movement is a good thing.
Yeah.
Dance if you like to dance, but get out of your head into your heart. That's all. That's the whole message of today's show. Don't listen to me. I'm a crazy man.
We love you, Ramsey. You're just tired. It's okay.
I'm tired, jet lagged, and it's just like it. It really bothered me because I had over 12 hours sitting on an airport. So I was like, okay, fine. How many times are you gonna go to eat? You can't. It's like, and then you look at the social media. Oh my God, no, I can't handle this anymore. What is happening to this world?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking. That's all. We do this just to awaken others into the same reality that we live in. Our reality is one of love and compassion. That's all. There's nothing else. There's nothing else.
I think when we live in love and compassion, it invites others to start to live there too, right?
Yeah.
Because they see how it feels, and I think that's really what high vibration people all over the world are doing. We just invite you to be in a space where you're comfortable. And how do you get there? We can help you with that, right? Because
Oh my
we've
God.
been there.
Oh God, was I ever in there?
We've been there. Still eke back once in a while, because, we're human and all.
It doesn't. Yeah, like I said, it's not you're an alcoholic and tomorrow you're sober.
Yeah.
It's a process. It's a process of sweat and pain. It doesn't happen overnight, but the pleasure of the pain is intense. That it you start to see things and you go, I want more of the pain to get myself out of that hole
Yeah.
into this beautiful forest or whatever it is that makes you like shine.
Yeah.
That's all.
And the pain that you're referring to is just the healing work,
It's the healing work.
that we
Yes.
go through.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, when we talk about emotional pain, it's energy. It's releasing the energy that's pent up.
Yes. It's
Right?
my allergies. They're coming out.
Yes, it's releasing. Good job. It's releasing. That's what we're doing, right?
Yes.
So we just release. And when we do that, when we fight the release, that's when we have more challenge, right?
You know, I got to because once you go out of your uh, judgment term pain, yes,
Yeah.
thank you,
Thank
absolutely.
you. Have a good Friday weekend too.
So when you move out of this dark side and you awaken to your true self, you start to see things differently. Uh, like you see when people are marginalized,
Mhm.
you feel with them. You see how they're talking, and you you start to understand it's coming out of pain.
It's their pain because
Yes,
oftentimes we're empaths. And so we're
yes,
feeling their pain.
but you feel it through their words. They're talking about something else. They're describing a flower, and it's like it's there,
Yeah.
but you could see it. And once you start to see it, you start to understand that person. And that person has the same bloody problems that you do, just packaged differently.
Yeah.
Because we're all the same. We all have the same issues. And it's funny, no matter what color you are, your height, your sex, if you're man, woman, half breed, whatever it is, we all carry the same set of issues.
Hmm.
And we're all in it for the same outcome.
Hmm. A good example of that
Yeah.
is almost, I would say there's a huge percentage of the population that has self esteem issues. And it doesn't, they could be what society considers the best looking people in the world, and they think they're awfully ugly, right? And it's all their perception. So it's, or they could be, you know, they could think that they're the worst person in the world,
Yeah.
but they're not.
But they're
There's
not.
lots of love there, right? So it's really it's all our own perception. But what I mean by that is that we all have like the self-esteem issues, right? It doesn't matter what you look like and who you are. You could be the most successful person or, the one that's not. I mean, I don't even know how to describe that because for me, success is very different, I think, than what a lot of other people feel, you know, and that's again a perception. So, but like we all fight our own self-esteem issues. We all fight our own worthiness issues. Um, but really, we all want to be loved and valued for who we are,
That's it.
no matter who we are.
Yeah.
We just go about it in different ways, and we look for it in different ways. But if we show kindness and compassion and love, that is exhibiting value and love and caring for somebody.
And please don't look up to your, what do you call it? To our leaders. It is so sad that politics has played such a huge role in the problems that we have today. Massive. And they were supposed to be the people that we look up to. And even people who call themselves religious are also flaming the fire.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that just go inward, forget everything on the outside, and you will find that nugget within you. And when you wake up from that dream, like that lady that I talked about at the beginning in China, when she realized what happened, she just was in a shock.
Mhm.
That's when you find yourself, and everything else falls apart. There's nothing for anything to survive anymore because your light will come out. Wow.
Who are we speaking to, Ramsey? I feel like someone's channeling again. Just saying.
I have no idea, but I don't know what I wanted to talk to you to about today, and I the quantum things, and then things just moved into a totally different direction.
Someone took over.
Yes, awaken to your true self. This is my mission. You can check me out, ramseycheating.net. I have a 15-minute coffee break. You want to link in and chit chat? I am available. And I think Tanis has the same thing.
I do indeed. Yes.
Do tell.
At twillolifestyle.ca, you can book a discovery session with me and we can have a little chat if you need some guidance. And we're both doing teaching and stuff. So watch for the services and, or the events, I should say, workshops and events for the Twillo Lifestyle Academy. Because this young gentleman here is one of our teachers. And so we're going to be doing some stuff, planning. So stay tuned because there's lots of great classes coming up.
Yeah.
We've got chair yoga starting on the weekend with Jacqueline Richards. We've got, what else have we got? We've got Find Your Galactic Lineage that Michelle and I are doing next weekend. And we have all sorts of stuff. Got the channeling class coming up in July. So stay tuned. Yep. Reiki coming up. Stay tuned. Check us out. Do you have any events right now, Ramsey?
Please.
I don't mean with us. I just meant because I know that you're involved in a few other projects as well. Is there anything else you want to mention?
They all ended, which is great. And now I have to just chill for a bit. Except for the we were supposed to do that one day. What is it called?
Yeah, that has to be postponed. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, I did.
That note. So we'll be rescheduling.
Yeah.
At some point.
We can talk about it. What is it? It's a full day of.
Yeah, it's a full day of getting to know yourself. So it's the I Am retreat, and it's oh my goodness, your mystic, your inner mystic.
Your inner mystic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, awaken to your true self.
That's it. It is.
Wording.
Yeah. Awaken your inner mystic, because. But I think it's reversed the word. But yes, it's about awakening your true self.
Yes, which is, I think it's an awesome day. Unfortunately, we have to postpone. Something did come up, but it will be announced soon for another day. So stay tuned to that. This is awesome. It just brings your true self out there, and that's what we're trying to bring out.
And the whole healing journey is all about getting to know yourself, and that's getting to know that divine inner love. The true self.
And the only way you can dig in is by peeling a bit at a time. Don't rush it, because it's not going to make a difference. Because I remember beginning of my journey, I wanted to take the whole thing out 24 hours, one weekend, and we're done. It just... it didn't work.
It doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. Hi, Susan. Thanks for stopping in. Lots of love to you, too.
Thank you. Moon and Gemini, have a loving weekend. They're all. Thank you.
Same to you.
And on that note, I want to thank everybody who joined us. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks.
Have an awesome weekend.
Hi. Bye, everyone. Lots of love.